Hi scrapbookers, this is Megan here, and I am back with another December daily share, and this one is going to include pictures. So for the first couple days, I used this 5x7 glossy paper that I got in the kit. I printed out a couple photos from day number 1, but for some reason my printer was making this funky orange line, and so I was really frustrated by that. I ended up printing it out smaller, and I zoomed in a lot more, and it didn't print out that orange line. So I don't know what was going on with that picture, if I had done something, because I believe I took that with my digital camera, my big, nice, expensive digital camera. So I don't know why it would have had that orange line on it. So I had it, I think it was a 3x3, maybe a little bit smaller. And I was thinking that maybe I could cut the orange line off of that bigger picture and put it across the whole page, but then I decided, no, I'm just going to use this little page or little picture, and I'm just going to put it up there on that red mat. And here I am I'm going to use this glue from Tombow. I think it's Tombow Mono. I think that's what it is, just the dispenser. And I'm going to journal, and the journaling, I just write that the boys were so excited that Eva came back to visit us this year and to watch over us, and they thought it was so cool that she left them a note. And I got the idea from a friend's Facebook page. Her elf left her kids a note saying, I missed you, and they were so excited, and I thought, oh, I'm totally going to do that. So I just wrote on a scratch piece of paper, I missed you, and the boys thought that was so fun. So that page is pretty much done now, I believe. I just finish up the journaling and put away the pen, and I am done. Now we're on to day 2. For day number 2, I had 3 different photos. And since my printer at home wasn't working, I just printed off a bunch of photos from my computer, and I printed them off at Sam's Club. Some of them I printed smaller so I could fit about 2 to 3 pictures on one 4x6. Others I printed out as a 4x6 and then just cut down. And here I'm trying to fit these 2 pictures on this first page, but it's not actually going to work out. I have this other picture which is really long from my boys going to their pack meeting on the 2nd, and so I'm going to just cut that down and put that on the first page. Even though that is the last thing that happened in the day, I decided that that was okay. I'm going to do a 2-page spread for this one. And I don't know if you remember that from my base page videos that I made, but this one has this page that's on the left and then also a bracket page that goes on the right. So here I am trying to figure out how I want to embellish this page and what I want to use as the journaling strip. And so I pull out some of these Elle's Studio cards. This was not in the kit that I used, the Hippo Hydrangea kit, and it was just from my stash. So I'm going to decide to use that candy cane striped paper that says Simply Wonderful as the journaling card. And I am going to layer the picture on this other card that said important on it, and I just covered up the word important. And now I am going to glue all of this down. And then I am going to pull out my black pen to journal. And also I'm looking through some of the embellishments to kind of embellish this area right there at the top. So I'm going to use that red button and then also 2 of these green enamel dots. And those green enamel dots were from my stash. I believe I got them in probably a Studio Calico kit. And now I'm gluing down the picture. And I decide to move on to the second page. And for this one, I am going to round all of the corners just so they look nice and pretty. And I am thinking that that second page looks kind of bare. So I pull out this little label tag and I am going to stamp on it. Oh, I guess right here I decide I'm going to finally do my journaling. And I just write about my friend and I making the popcorn balls together in the morning and then going to the pack meeting and passing the popcorn balls out to the boys for their treat. And it was a lot of fun doing that with my friend because I am not a cook and she's a better cook than I am. And so she practically just made the popcorn balls by herself. I told her how to do it and then she did it. So it was a lot of fun getting together to do that morning. So I am going to use this Dear Lizzie rotary stamp and it says this was rad, and I just stamp it 3 or 4 times on there. And I'm just going to glue it in between those 2 pictures and then put some of those green enamel dots. Oh, I think that's my husband. Sorry about that. I was in my room scrapbooking and he came in to talk to me and he was like, "Ooh, are you recording?" And I said yes. And so of course he had to, do something silly. My husband is a very silly man. Okay, so now I am going to move on to page number 3. Well, day number 3. And this day we were pretty busy. We had a lot going on. One of my neighbors' little girls had her 6th birthday party, and we are best friends with them. I don't know if I've mentioned this, but these neighbors, they live about 3 houses down, and we have kids around the same ages. And her daughters love coming over to my house. And she has 2 girls and 1 boy. And the girls will often be found at my house, seriously, all the time. And so it's just really fun doing things with their family. On this day, we were invited to the little girl that was turning 6. We were invited to her birthday party, and she had it at a place called Blast Off. And it's kind of like Chuck E. Cheese. I don't know if you guys know what Chuck E. Cheese is, but I grew up around Chuck E. Cheese's in California, but we don't have those here in Idaho. So Blast Off is the next best thing. It's pretty much the same thing. Pizza and, playground equipment and gaming and laser tag and fun stuff. So we went to her party and had pizza and just really had a lot of fun playing. And at the end of the party, she got to go into the balloon place. That's that really skinny picture that I have there to the right of my hand right now. And it was like a little encapsulated case, and they blew air into it, and she got to catch as many balloons as she could. And for every balloon she caught, she got a prize. And so that was fun watching her do that. I think she got 6 prizes. She got a lot of balloons. And since that day was not a snowy day, I had to cover up that card that said "Snow Much Fun" because the weather was unbelievably warm right up until Christmas Eve. It was so crazy. Like some of the days were like 55 degrees in the middle of the day, and it was just like, holy cow. Like last year I remember it being cold. I don't know if it really was, but I don't remember it ever being warm like it was here. So that little teeny tiny picture was a picture of my dog, and I wanted to include that just because he's part of the family, you know, and I wanted to include what he was doing with me that day. We were just hanging out watching TV, and on that day I was feeling better, but I think that was the week that I was kind of sick. Maybe not that week. I don't remember. Sorry. It wasn't too long ago, and I can't remember it very well. Anyway, so I am going to mat this other picture of my son Jonas off there to the left. Oh, I guess I forgot to glue that picture down, so I was making sure to do that. And now I am going to glue down that picture of Jonas there. I'm just trying to find a piece of paper that I can mat the photo with. And I end up using this red snowflake paper. And Gracie, which is the little girl whose birthday it is, she loves the movie Frozen, of course, just like every other little girl. And so she had a Frozen themed birthday party and she got Frozen cupcakes. So there I am just going to write Frozen cupcakes underneath Jonas's picture. And I'm going to glue it under there just so we know what kind of cupcakes they were. My boys love Frozen too, which I don't know if that's weird. They just think it's such a funny and fun movie with Olaf and everything, and so they loved going to her party. And here I'm just going to journal about what I did with Sirius. Just cuddling with Sirius is what I write. And now I'm just going to kind of spice up this page a little bit with a heart button and 3 rhinestones up there at the top of those 2 pictures. So now I'm just gluing down those rhinestones. And I am done with that page there. Oh, wait, no, I forgot. For this one, I did decide to do a title, and it's just going to say, Happy Birthday, Gracie Girl. And so I'm going to put that up there in the left-hand corner with these red, skinny little alphas. And I really love how that cluster up there turned out with the glittery 3, even though I don't know if you remember if you saw my base pages, but when I made this layout, I was meaning to do embossing powder on that number 3, but I pulled out glitter instead of embossing powder, and I didn't realize I pulled out glitter, and so it wasn't embossing, and I was like, what is wrong? And I looked at the container of glitter, and I was like, oh no, it's glitter. So yeah. So, but I do and really end up liking the glitter. Now I'm thinking maybe I will put these little half circle stickers on there. And I like how that looks, so I leave that there. And now I am going to move on to page number 4. For this page, I went up to the hospital that is up in Rexburg, which is about 30 minutes away from where I live, to visit my friend Carlin. So my friend Carlin is, I think I've mentioned it before, but she has cancer, or she did have cancer. Now she doesn't. She is cancer-free, which is woohoo! We're so excited for her. But she had breast cancer, and she found out in July. And so she had a double mastectomy in the first week in August, I believe, like 5 days after finding out that she had cancer. She had her double mastectomy. And so she's been going through chemo, and since winter has come on, her mom keeps getting sick, and she's living with her mom right now for some extra help. And so since her mom keeps getting sick, she keeps getting sick, and she gets it even worse than her mom does. So this time she ended up in the hospital for about 2 or 3 days, I believe. And on her second day there, I went to go visit her, and we got to hang out for a couple hours, and then I had to come back to pick up my son from preschool. So I just put that picture, that was the biggest picture. I wanted to put that there to focus on that. And then the picture in the right-hand corner is Eva. And I thought that one was cute. I didn't want to leave that one out because my husband is the one that would move Eva around every night before bed. And he thought it would be cute to put her in a little cup that we use for hot chocolate during the Christmas time, and to put a little candy cane in with her. And so the boys found her, and they thought it was so funny that she wanted to have hot chocolate with them. So I'm just figuring out where I want to put the title, Visiting Car. And I am thinking that I want the blue Alpha with Carlin's name on it to be there next to the 4. And then visiting, I kind of fuss with a little bit because I'm thinking, oh, that would look good there. But then the name kind of goes onto the 4, and I just didn't really want to do that. And so I decide to put them on top of each other. So car is going to go right there above the photo, and then visiting is going to go above car. When I was pulling off the last I from the sticker sheet of the Alpha, it kind of came off of the sticky back part, so I had to glue that down. And I think I end up gluing all of these down just to make sure that they stay, because most of these, some of them are sticky, but not really. And so here I'm just going to glue all of those letters from the word visiting down, just to give me some peace of mind that they will stay and not end up falling off. Especially since this page won't have a page protector, I want to make sure that that doesn't happen. And after I do that, I am going to want to journal about this. So I'm going to look through the papers and try to figure out what I can use as a journaling card. So I got the V down, and now I am thinking that this page is pretty much done. So I glue down that and kind of journal about that. And there was one of these cards that I thought maybe I could use. And I really liked that scalloped one. I don't know what you call that shape, but I am going to cut it out, and it's going to take a little bit. So I kind of disappear for a minute because I'm just spending the time to cut out this shape, and I didn't want to have to do it right under the camera because it gets kind of tiring having to leave your arms up there. So I am cutting out that shape, and then I'm going to do my journaling on it. And the journaling is just going to talk about how Carlin was really sick, and I went up to visit her, and it was fun to be able to spend just a little bit of time together that week. And December was so busy for me that I didn't really even get to see her a whole lot, which was really sad because that was the last month that she was going to be in Idaho Falls living, and because her and her family moved at the beginning of the school year, but she stayed behind to do chemo here. And I'm really glad that she stayed behind to do chemo here in town because I was able to go to a session with her, and that was really awesome to be able to be there for her for that. So I'm going to glue that down, and that will be the end of this video for these 4 days. So I hope you'll come back and see the next few days I have coming up tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Bye.